If you like this video, subscribe to my channel, but let's get right to it. My wife and I decided to watch Black Widow. We streamed it on Disney Plus. It was a seamless process, couple of clicks. It was the first time we had streamed anything premium on demand like that. There was a great option where you could have invited 6 other people and did a group viewing. But long story short, we decided to go with Disney Plus. Because I'm starting a new Amazon Studios series. I'll be on it for 5 months or so, and we're doing COVID tests 3 times a week. And with the Delta variant out there, I didn't want to take a risk with my next job going to a movie theater and seeing it in a packed theater. My state, I think they've gotten rid of all the restrictions. So we streamed it on Disney Plus. It did not disappoint. I enjoyed the movie. Look, I feel like I would have loved to have seen this movie earlier on in the timeline. I hate that they waited so long to give Natasha Romanoff her own film as a character, Scarlett Johansson's character. After spoiler alert, with Endgame, she dies on Valdemir. I think that's how you say it, the planet. It's just like the feeling I got from this movie was that it felt like, a phase 1 kind of thing, like Captain Marvel and stuff like that, and the original Captain America, the First Avenger. It was like this movie that needed to be established earlier on. And I like that they snuck her in there on Iron Man 2 and then on and on and on and on and on and on throughout everything. But they should have dropped this movie way earlier. But I realized because it takes place right after Captain America Civil War and right before Infinity War, it kind of, I could see why they dropped it in the way they did. It's unfortunate that it took a pandemic. This is like the first really big release we've gotten from Marvel. Post-pandemic, although we're still in a pandemic. I wished it would have come out earlier in the timeline as far as the feature films go. I love that William Hurt was back. I love that they tied it into the Sokovia accounts and all that kind of stuff, and how everyone was on the run. Captain America. It was a good way to not bring. Because that's the problem with doing a standalone film after Endgame or something somewhere in there. The big question would be, well, where's all the other Avengers? Why doesn't she reach out to Tony Stark? Why doesn't she reach out to Captain America? Well, because of the way they placed it in the timeline, with all the Avengers on the run after Civil War, and some of them locked up in the prison and stuff like that, it made sense that they went in that direction with it, because then they could just focus on Natasha's character with her, makeshift family that were basically all Russian spies. I thought David Harbour did a fantastic job. He did exactly what he was supposed to do with this role. I believe they did do some de-aging type stuff on him in the beginning of the film. Maybe not. I'll have to wait for some behind the scenes. But I liked everything about his character. Rachel Weisz, her character was fantastic. Florence Pugh, of course, she stole the show. But Scarlett Johansson held her own in the whole thing. But again, like, they gave a lot to Florence to do, because she is going to kind of take over the mantle on this thing, as you saw in the end credits when she visits Natasha's grave, which is really cool that they gave Natasha a grave. I thought that was awesome, because, obviously she died on another planet and nobody got to really mourn her, although everybody kind of mourned Tony Stark. They didn't get a chance to mourn her, and it was if they just kind of said she just disappeared at the end of Endgame. But they really kind of gave the audience what they wanted with that grave, that tombstone. And let's see, other notable performances. William Hurt, was back, and it looks like he's following the Sokovia Accords and trying to round up all these Avengers and Of course, they've been looking for Natasha, but she's a super spy, and she slipped away. But I love that he kind of gets peppered in, same as Sam Jackson in all these movies lately. You know, and first appearing in The Incredible Hulk, and then so on and so on. And now it looks like, you know, he's going to be head of the Thunderbolts. You know, it was nice seeing Julia Louis-Dreyfus come back and kind of reprise her character that has been established from Captain America, or Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So it looks like she's putting together the Dark Avengers. You know, that it's basically like the Suicide Squad of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. All the has-beens, the people, you know, like the agent, you know, the faux Captain America that ended up taking the super soldier serum and all that good stuff. So it looks like they're bringing all this stuff together. I feel like Florence is her Black Widow is going to be a series on Disney Plus. I think she'll start making appearances in the bigger films later on down the pike, but I feel like she's going to have her own Disney Plus series, and we're probably weeks away from it being announced. I think they just wanted to see how this movie was going to be embraced. Let Scarlett Johansson kind of take a bow on this one, and let her get all the glory. Let's see. Ray Winstone was fantastic in it. I have to say, at the end when he was punching Scarlett Johansson in the face, if there's one thing that a character, you know, you lose your likability as an actor if you strike a woman, and that's just one of those things in Hollywood. The minute a character smacks a woman in the face or punches a woman in the face, a male character, you lose your likability. Like, the audience hates you. You know, unlike Darth Vader. You know, people love Darth Vader, the bad guy, but he never struck a woman, as far as I know. And same thing with a lot of bad guys. You like bad guys, but the minute they hit a woman, they just can't be redeemed as a character. And Ray Winstone, as soon as he went there, dude, I was like, oh God, I hate this guy. And I thought he was great, but he's always great in everything he's in. The Taskmaster had some controversy. First of all, I didn't read the comic books, so I wasn't familiar with the Taskmaster. I know he's a villain, a bad guy, but in this, it made sense that the actress Olga Kurilenko, I think that's how you say her name, that played the Taskmaster. You kind of didn't know if it was a male or female until the end, and then you found out that it was a female. Now, I know a lot of fans there's some backlash about that, but look, only hardcore fans that love the Taskmaster are going to get off, you know, just be all upset about that. Oh, it's, you know, they're just politicizing it, you know, making it a female character. I don't necessarily see that in this movie because the entire cast was predominantly female. This was all about Black Widow. So it would make sense that she didn't go up against a super, super big bad guy. And she ended up going up against a female version of the Taskmaster, which happened to be Ray Winstone's, his character's daughter, that was being brainwashed. I love the idea of all the people being brainwashed. Oh man, there was this one actor in the beginning that fell off the building, and when she hit the ground, her leg was all twisted sideways. Dude, I was cringing the whole time. Every time they did a wide shot from up high, looking down, and her leg was like jacked sideways, I was just like, The only issue I have, I mean, with the film in general, it was just fun. It was just a fun movie. The only issue I had in general was the amount of physical body damage that both Yelena and Black Widow, Natasha, went through. The constant car accidents, the being thrown through windows and doors, being beat up against walls, the explosions, like a regular human, and they're regular humans, they're not super soldiers, would have just had their entire bones underneath their skin just completely pulverized half this movie. But, you know, it is suspension of disbelief, and you have to believe that they can take a hit. But so much that went down in this movie, for me, felt like they would have been killed, you know, this happens all the time in these movies where these people are invincible, even the ones that aren't super soldiers. One of the issues I had with Sam on the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, just refusing to take the super soldier serum, but then getting his butt handed to him every 5 seconds. And, some of those blows and punches would have taken out any normal human being, even somebody jacked and ripped like he was. So anyway, the whole movie was fun, I think, and that's why I think it's got an 80% Rotten Tomato score. The fans seem to like it, other than the only thing that seems there's any backlash is the Taskmaster being female. Didn't bother me at all. Enjoyed the movie. Wished we would have gotten it sooner. I think it was a great way for her to go out, and I hope Scarlett Johansson has made a ton of money in kickbacks on this project because she deserves it. So hopefully she'll reap some mad benefits from this movie being released because of the records it's breaking right now during pandemic. I mean, now they kind of, every movie is pandemic, so like they don't expect the box office to be that high, but when you combine it with premium Disney Plus, it should pull in a ton of money in the end. I was happy with the film all around. What did you guys think? Let's talk about it in the comment section. We'll see you on the next one.